Life is 10% of what you're dealt with and 90% on how you deal with it. You know, a lot of people deal with our 10% and we forget it's only 10%. You know what I mean? My 10% are my legs. I'm missing my legs. I can't change that. I still have 90% to show the world what I truly can do. I still have 90% to put a smile on my face, walk out the door with my legs, and go and take on whatever life throws at me. But we as humans sometimes get caught up in what really doesn't matter, right? When you can look at yourself in the mirror, right, and say, this are my flaws and all. This is who I am. That's when you start taking control of your life. When you can laugh at yourself, right? And you can say, you know what? Yeah, I am missing my legs. You know what? I am short. I am tall. I am this. I am that. And accept that, because it's only 10% of who we are. But you still have 90% to show the world what you truly can do. And if you can grasp onto that concept, man, nothing can stop you. You know, and I love the fact that, you know, it's not, you know, one of my favorite quotes from Rocky is like, it's not how hard you can hit, right? It's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, right? It's how hard you can take hits and sometimes fall down and keep pushing forward through the hard times and the good and the bad. I just look at my life and, you know, the day I was born, the doctor said I would never walk. You know, to be born missing one leg, congenitally, everything else normal is 1 in a million, right? To be born missing 2 legs is unheard of, right? The day I was born, the doctor's like, you gotta go to room 103, you ain't gonna believe this, right? Like, they didn't know what to do, right? So statistically, right, I shouldn't be here right now. If you look at the facts and the numbers, right, the odds, right, I shouldn't be running. I shouldn't be competing. I should be winning medals. But we're not going off facts, right? We're going off hard work. We're going off determination. We're going off willpower. And when you set your life and trying to break into a barrier that nobody's has ever broken into, you can't go off the numbers. Because I'm trying to do something nobody has ever done before. So I can't look back and compare myself to anybody. I just gotta look forward. And with that type of mindset, only way you know you're doing enough if you give it all you got. The only way I know that I'm pushing forward, you know, I can't go back and compare it to this guy, that guy. I gotta leave the track hurting. I gotta finish the workout, basically almost throwing up, right? I gotta leave the track to the point where I gotta pop my legs off and crawl to my car, right? I gotta put them back on to drive, but still I gotta crawl to my car. But you gotta set your own boundaries, right? My biggest disability isn't the fact that I'm missing my legs. My biggest disability is the fact what people think I cannot do, the fact that I'm missing my legs. So I've built my whole life proving to people what I can do. I've been building my whole life proving that just because I'm missing my legs doesn't define who I am, right? Just because I'm missing my legs doesn't mean I can't be the fastest man in the world. Who told me I couldn't? I mean, I heard it a lot, but who said, right? I'm setting these boundaries, and not only for me, but for the kids that's growing up. There's a kid out there with a disability, you know, or going through something internally, externally.
You respond to adversity by saying, I don't accept that, right? Like, I'm not gonna make excuses.
Yeah.
That's so transformative already, because most people take their excuse, thank you very much, they go home.
Right.
And then 2, that you accept that life isn't fair, and in some ways, use that to your advantage.
Yes, you have to. You know what I mean? When you accept the fact life isn't fair and you don't have excuses, because this is what happens. When you have excuses, it means you're pointing fingers, right? It's their fault, or it's his fault, it's her fault, it's life, you know what I mean? It's people's fault, right? And when you're pointing fingers, you're losing your power.
Who's teaching you all this stuff? It's so, like, it's so powerful. Like, life is a test, yes?
It is, it's
Agreed?
a test. Everything.
Hardship is a test. Suffering is a test.
Yes, it's a test.
Most people break.
Yeah.
Most people are diminished by hardship. Most people are diminished by the test.
Yeah.
But among us, there are people like you who are created from the hardship.
Yeah.
But I want to know so desperately why you?
And that's the question, and I'm saying I ask myself, but
So give me the tricks. Yeah. What do you do to your mind? You're running, you're about to vomit.
Right.
And you do another rep. Like, what are you doing?
I love that, right?
But what are you telling yourself in your mind at that moment?
I tell myself, keep that mind over matter, right? It's the mind. It's not what we go through. We perceive things, right? I'm perceiving the workout to being hard. I'm perceiving my body hurting and breaking down. And so you have to go into this mode to where your mind takes over your body, right? And your body is done and it's shutting down and it can't go anymore. You go to trick. You got to trick yourself. Man, we've already done 5 of them. What's one more, right? And your body's like, dude, do you not feel how we feeling right now? Like, this is all going through my head during the workout, right? Mind you, I'm talking to myself here, right? And you're like, okay, how about this? We'll just get going. We'll just get started. Let's focus on the first 7 steps, right? Let's focus on the first 10 steps. Let's just get going. And let's finish the race. Let's never quit, never stop. Then you go into the mindset to where we can walk away and who's working the hardest, you. Right? That's the greatest feeling in the world. That's what people don't realize. You have the medals, right? You have the world records, and you know we have these TV shows where it's amazing, and the fans and the followers. But that's great. I love that. You know what I mean? But what makes me the greatest feeling in the world, and I feel like what makes me as a person, is when I'm on that last rep of that 300, and I gotta convince my body where it feels like I cannot go any further, right? To go a little bit harder. And so when I do that, I conquered that moment, right? I challenged it and I defeated it in that moment. And nobody can take that away from me. Like I fought, right? Nobody really sees that. I was having an internal battle with myself, with my mind and my body, when my body was telling me I can't, right? I can't do this, I can't do that. I heard that my whole life. And when I can go on the track and defeat and have that internal war inside, if I can beat that, if I can fight that, whatever's thrown at me, I'm gonna fight. I'm a fighter. You know what I mean? That's why I love running. That's why I love pushing the limits, right? I love being in uncomfortable positions, right? Because that's when you find out what your talents are, what you're good at, what you're bad at, what makes you feel uncomfortable, all your forms of fear, right? When it comes to fear, I was talking to one of my mentors and he broke it down to me. He said, you have 2 people, this is how they respond to fear. They forget everything, right, and run. F-E-A-R, forget everything and run, right? He said, you want to be the type of person, an individual, when you see fear, when you have fear, you face everything and rise. And that's the mindset I want to have. Every time I'm afraid of something or something scares me, I want to face it head on. I want to go toe to toe with it, right? And whether I win or lose, 'cause sometimes you're going to lose, right? I can walk away and say, you know what, this is what I learned about it. But if we're always living our lives as scared and afraid to push the limits, right? And that's the thing. If I was to wake up and like, I'm just gonna sit in my wheelchair today. I'm gonna sit on the couch, right? I'm just gonna collect a check. You know what I mean? From the government, I'm not gonna push. I'm not only have to put on my legs. Society will be okay with that, right?
Society expects it.
Expects that, right? And even though I'm not bothering nobody, right? I'm not dying. Dude, I'm not living. I'm not living if I do that. And the time is now. We dealt with a lot of things, right? We dealt with racism, we dealt with sexism, you know what I mean? The ADA Act, we're facing disability. The time is now. We gotta look at ourselves and say no excuses, right? We all deal with demons. Everybody does, right? Everybody has problems, right? When you can conquer those problems and say, I have a problem, I'm gonna face it and rise, right? Face it all. That's when you can get things done. Who has control over you? Who can stop you, right? And every day that I wake up, I say I want to be one of the fastest men in the world, and I have no legs. Some people laugh, some people joke, some people don't even believe me. I can look in their face like, dude, I'm trying to qualify for the Olympics. They're like, all right, cool, sure. This guy, right? He's on something right here, right? But I'm dead serious. And even though if they don't see it, I see it, right? I manifest my own destiny, right?
God damn. That's a statement right there.
You know what I mean? It's about manifestation, dude. You put that out there in the world. That's what people, and that's the beautiful part about it, right? Every day that I wake up, right, I believe that I'm going to walk. point blank period. I believe that I'm going to go out there and run. I manifest that out there into the world. I expect that, right? I put that out there every single day. I'm going to walk. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. So that's out there in the world, right? You can't take that back. It's out there. So what's going to happen is once it's out there, you're going to start conforming and doing things to figure out how I'm going to walk, how am I going to run. I believe that I can be one of the fastest men in the world. So I'm gonna start conforming to that. So I'm in those 300 workouts. I already put that out there that I'm gonna be the fastest man in the world. I want people to just laugh, smile, and shake their head in disbelief on how much I fought in my life. And regardless of how many no's that I hear, and I heard a lot, I'm gonna hear more, right? As many as I hear that, you just need to hear a few yeses. And I hear that yes every day that I wake up in myself, and I hear that yes when I meet people like you, right? And I have the same mindset and the same vision, you know what I mean? We're aligned in the same path. Everything happens, you know what I mean? I just feel like it's just who I am. That's how I'm structured. I couldn't, and if I didn't live this life the way I live it, it'll kill me. If I have to sit on the couch every day and just wonder what's gonna happen out there in the world, you know what I mean? I wonder what I could do if I had the opportunity to. That would irk me, man. That would irk me. I have to get out there and try it. I have to get out there and do it, whether I succeed or whether I failed. I know I can walk away and say I gave it my all. And that's the greatest feeling in the world. God, that's the greatest feeling in the world. I'm gaining so many tools in life, but trying to become an Olympian and trying to become one of the fastest men in the world. And hopefully, you know what I mean, once it's all said and done, I can use the tools. You know, when I first started running, I was a little kid, man. You know, I was just getting started. I never run in front of 80,000 people before. I've never been on an international stage before. I've never even traveled before. Right? I never even left the country. I never left Tennessee, right? Before I started running, my first time in California was because of running, right? Like, I was just this little country boy from Tennessee, right? Eating ribs and and collard greens, right? And because I wanted to become a runner born without legs has allowed me to see the world. Has allowed me to be on a show like this. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm gaining tools in life. And so when I'm done running, I will be able to look back and say, man, I learned this about myself. I learned that about myself, right? And I think that's the great part of giving it your all, so you can figure out what you're good at and what you're bad at and what you can do and what you can't do. And when you find out what you can't do, then you try to figure out how you can do it, right? That's the only way. Right? But if you're sitting back and complacent and scared and afraid to challenge life and to challenge yourself, it's a scary place to be in. That's a place that I know I don't want to be in. I know you don't want to be in at all.
Very true.
Yeah.
What would you teach to, if you had a child, what are 3 powerful lessons that you'd want to make sure they learn?
Oh, man. One is it's just gratitude and humility. You know what I mean? That's one thing that's really helped me in my life, and just being thankful for what I have. Don't leave before the miracle happens. 2, be proud of who you are. From top to bottom, be proud. Live it, express it. And the last is never give up. Never, ever give up. The only way you can fail is if you give up. And the only person that can stop you from quitting is you yourself, that person in the mirror. You know what I mean? People can derail your main objective. They can maybe derail, right, your mission. But the only person that can have you stop fighting is that person inside of you. So,
how do you keep fighting? Like when it's really nasty hard?
Yeah.
Do you have a mantra or anything that you say? Or
when it gets bad, right? I first think about the people who sacrificed for me, right? Who's worked hard for me, right? My family members, you know, the people in my life now. Like, man, they believed in me, right? So I can't give up on them, right? And then I look back and I think about everything I've been through so far in my life, right? When it gets tough, I'm just like, I can't push no farther, right? It goes back to playing those mind tricks again. You gotta play those mind tricks just like you playing mind tricks on the track. Gotta have those mind tricks with yourself. Like, man, look at everything you've done. You've made it this far. Why quit now? Why stop now? You've did all this. Why quit now? It's be a waste of time, right? And the last is just being thankful, man. Because I know it could be way worse. It could be way worse. So I'd be selfish to give up. That'd be rude of me, disrespectful. That'd be so disrespectful.
To the kids that are watching
To the kids that are watching me, to the kids who don't have what I have, right? There's kids in other countries who would wish and hope and pray and beg to have legs like these, to have opportunities that I've had. It's so disrespectful, man, if I gave up. That'd be rude, right? That'd be so rude, and that's not what I want to be. That's not what I want to stand for. You know, I always think about my legacy and what I want to stand for. And if I'm gonna be the man I want to be, and I feel like I want to be the man that I'm meant to be, I gotta keep fighting.
Who is the man that you're meant to be?
Man, the man I'm meant to be, somebody that changed lives, somebody that changed perception, perspectives, right? I want to be the guy who meet somebody they thought one way their whole life, right? About a conversation they had with me or an interview they seen with me, their whole mindset has changed, right? When they thought they couldn't do nothing, right, with their lives, so they thought they wasn't good enough, right? Because we always fight that internal demon that you're not good enough, right? When somebody thinks that, hope they can see my story and benefit from it, right? And they say, you know what? If Blake can do it, that I sure can do it as well. I'm trying to be the fastest man in the world, and I have no legs. That's a double entendre. I'm like, what? That doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't, how is that in the same sentence? Step outside the box. Set your own goals. Rise to the occasion. And fight for your dreams, man. That's what I want to stand for. That's who I want to be.
It's a pretty good legacy.
Yeah, man.
Talk to me about, so you're a kid, people are making fun of you, you're terrified to show your legs. Like, I know what it's like to be a kid, obviously, right? That's hard.
Yeah.
Like, if people turned on you and were picking on you, like that's an emotional death sentence.
Yeah.
So how did you go from that negative spiral to like, hey, one day finally I'm gonna wear shorts and be proud of exactly who I am?
It was a few things. You know what I mean? I learned, when I was when I was made fun of as a kid, you know what I mean? Sometimes it stung a little bit, right? It would hurt, or I get so awkward and so uncomfortable. And to the point I was like, you know what? How about I just make better jokes? You know what I mean? Or how about I just accept and laugh with them, right? And I embraced it. You know what I mean? I remember growing up in elementary school, middle school, I would turn my leg backwards and walk through the hallways, right? Or I would take my legs off and crawl under the teacher's desk and grab her, you know what I mean? I would embrace it. And once I embraced it, it made people around me feel a lot more comfortable, right? I accepted it. I had to come to a realization that wherever I go, or whatever I do, I am going to be an amputee. Whoever I see, they're going to look at me twice. Whether I'm in Tennessee, New York, California, I'm gonna get the double take. So it goes back to, am I gonna sit and cry and be upset and be mad about it? Or I'm gonna do something about it? And ever since that moment, then I realized, and I decided I'm gonna push forward. I'm gonna accept the fact that I'm missing my legs. I like getting looked at, right? And as we grow up, we realize that's the worst thing that could ever happen to us, is being just mediocre or being part of the crowd. You want to stand out as an adult so you get everybody's attention, right? I didn't have a choice. I was going to stand out from the time I left the house as a kid to now. And to be honest, I'm thankful for that, because it allowed me to learn certain things and gain certain tools for me to be the person I am today. So at the end of the day, I'm thankful that I'm missing my legs. I can honestly look at you and say that. I'm thankful that I was born without legs.
I'm in Inglewood, living off Arborvitae. I'm on government assistance, and I run out of money, and I had to buy Pampers for Jelani. And I had $11.42 in the bank. And I remember wrapping my son in a towel for 2 days. You know, someone said, because when I tell the story, I always get teary-eyed. And someone said, do you fabricate the tears because you've told the story so much? No, I'm a mama. Every time I tell the story, I feel it again. I remember the second day, like you said, I had my hand on Jelani's stomach, and I said, don't worry, baby. Mommy will never be this broke or broken again. And that day, what shifted for me was I was willing, and I don't know if this is gonna sound crazy, I was willing to completely die to any form of me that I had been, so that I can birth the woman that I was becoming. The reason why a lot of people won't become who they want is because they're too attached to who they've been. And you hear it all the time when people say, I've always been this way. Okay, well, if that's working for you, keep doing that. I knew it wasn't working for me any longer. I had hit my version of rock bottom. So I was willing to let go of everything and everybody. See, another reason why people won't get there is because the doorway is for you to fit through. You trying to carry everybody else through because you're trying to be Rescue 911. And you gotta rescue you first. I am much more valuable to my family and to my community because I was willing to let them go through the door myself, teach myself, learn myself, condition myself, and then come back and get them. I'm much more valuable to them now. But I had to go through a window time of 10 years of judgment. You leaving us, hanging out with white people all the time. You going to these crazy countries. We don't know what I had to be willing to allow my conviction to make me inconvenienced. See, we want to grow, but we want to stay liked by everybody. I was willing to be my own rescue at the risk of your approval. But most of us aren't like that. Facebook is an example. We want to be liked. Well, I woke up and I like myself today, so your like is extra. My job is to like me first. I was willing to say every day, Lisa, you like you? Lisa, are you proud of you? Lisa, are you playing full out? Every day before I checked in with anybody else. That's lonely, by the way. Why won't most people do it? Because it's scary and it's lonely. So what did I do? I was willing to find people who had what I didn't have, who were living lives that I wasn't living, who believed things that I didn't know about, and I was willing to become their student. I got up every day and I ate a slice of humble pie. See, when you get to this level, even me 10 years ago, you can get caught up by reading your own fine print. See, whenever I hear people reading my bio, and before I came on and you read my bio, I'm in the back going, yeah, 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 because I don't want to ever think I arrived. That bio is old. You should be interested in my future. Oh, that's my bio. What's my future? Oh, what are you doing? Who am I becoming for 2020? And we get caught up in our bios. We get caught up in our status. I never allowed that to stop me from going and sitting at the hem of someone and saying, what do you know about wealth? See, because there's 3 forms to money. There's 3 relationships to money. We learn how to earn it, we learn how to keep it, and we learn how to grow it. Well, I learned how to earn it because my theme song was, I'm a hustler, baby. And I want you to know, everybody with me, it ain't where I've been, but where I'm about to go. So I was singing that song.
That was good.
They know, right? I was singing that song when I was working out of my closet as my office. I was in a walk-in closet where you really couldn't walk in, you stepped in and turned, right? and the clothes rack, you know how you have the hanger rack, I had pant hangers in the closet and I had manila folders clipping on the pant hangers, those are my client files. And I would sit there and I put $2.99 mirrors that you get from CVS, I put them all around my closet walls so that I can make my office look bigger. I worked out of that closet office for 4 years, singing that song. It ain't where I've been, but where I'm about to go. I knew that. I knew how to make money. I didn't know how to keep it, because ain't nobody had none in my family. So keeping wasn't an issue. Growing was never an issue. So I went to people who knew how to make it, keep it, grow it. I went to people who was about serving others to the highest level. See, I make a lot of money because I serve more people. See, all your success is on the other side of service. People trying to make money, if it begins and ends with money, it's gonna be a short-lived victory. But if it's about transforming lives, then the wind keeps going and going and growing and growing. So I went to people that knew what I didn't know. And I killed my ego every day, murdered my she-go every day. Because I got a big she-go. I mean, come on, right? Every day, Tom. And I got hungry and I learned. I went to the same training 42 times. Yes, I said 42. Some folk will stop because I've been there already. I learned that already. Yeah. No, I wasn't there. I wanted to be able to finish their sentences. I want to know what you know. I want to walk like you, talk like you, and then I want to then embed me in it. But success leaves clues. We're just not picking them up. I was the only African-American person at this conference. I was one of 2 women at this conference. Within the last 29 sessions, I led the conference. But I was willing to be the student first. So that's what I did, number 1. And number 2, I looked at every toxic behavior in my life. Everyone. You see me go behind my own black curtain. People don't want to tell on yourself. You're trying to protect. You're trying to do 4 things. You're trying to protect, prove, hide, and defend. If you wake up every day and say, I have nothing to protect, I have nothing to prove, I have nothing to hide, I have nothing to defend. Now, who do I choose to be? Because your energy is consumed with protecting, proving, hiding, and defending. But if you let go of that, then now you're in creation. Every day I told myself that. Every day I got in the mirror and I said 3 sentences. And I gave each sentence 7 different endings. And at times I was crying so hard I couldn't understand myself because the ending, the sentence was so difficult to say. Every day I looked in the mirror and said, Lisa, I'm proud that you. And I found 7 different things to celebrate Lisa for, because we are under-celebrated. Because you want someone to celebrate you more than you celebrating yourself. You want to hear thank you from others more than you're thanking yourself. You want to hear other people say, I love you more than you saying, I love yourself. You are teaching the world. I said this on Oprah. When I said this on Oprah, she said, oh my God, I believe the exact same thing. So I knew I had one thing right. The world is looking at you and following your example of how to treat you, how to treat you. They're following your example of how to treat you. So how you treat you, the world's gonna follow your lead. So I had to start treating Lisa better because I was everything for everybody but nothing for myself. And so every day I got in the mirror and I completed 3 sentences. Lisa, I'm proud of you for. Second thing, Lisa, I forgive you for. That one took me down daily because I'd had a son with a man who was now in prison, my biggest nightmare, my greatest nightmare. I had been in a relationship that turned mentally and then physically abusive when my son was 3 years old. I made money but lost it. I was on government assistance, I was on welfare, I was on WIC, Women, Infant, and Children. I got a lot of forgiveness that I had to do. But I was willing to forgive myself every day. And every day I said the same thing for like 6 months until it got easier. And then one day I went, Lisa, I forgive you for it. And that thing didn't come up anymore. I was like, ooh, okay, on to the next. 7 different endings. And the last thing I did every day, last sentence, is Lisa, I commit to you that. Because we make bigger commitments to other people. If I commit to y'all something, ride or die, you can bet your last dime that I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna show up, you're gonna get 2 dimes. But I would make commitments for me, for myself, and I wouldn't do it, i.e. my weight.
That's interesting.
So I started every day celebrating Lisa, forgiving Lisa, and making a commitment to Lisa. And then I was willing to invest money in me.
I love this story.
I was willing to invest money in me.
Literally.
Literally. I worked at LA Unified School District, and I knew I couldn't stay there because they needed a degree. I didn't have a degree. They didn't seem happy. I wanted to be happy. So I would have my son at daycare during the day. I'd work 9 hours. I pick him up from daycare, take him back to my office. I take a 30-minute break from 6 o'clock to 6:30 to go get him. I start working from 6:30 until midnight every day at my office on me, every day. Put my son on a little, primary color blanket, something to occupy him. Give him toys that I took the batteries out of so he'd be confused for a little while trying to figure out why they're not working. I'm serious. And I did it every day, every day, every day. I stopped going out to dinner. I stopped going out dancing. I stopped getting my nails done, stopped getting my hair done. And every 2 weeks when LA Unified paid me, I wrote a check to my dream. And I wrote in the memo line, funding my dream. And I would mail the check to the bank, Wells Fargo. And I mailed a check to myself every 2 weeks for 3.5 years. My family thought I was smoking on drugs. Like, she ain't going out. She eating beanies and weenies all week. We think she on drugs, but she's not getting any smaller, so maybe not. And I went to the bank after 3.5 years. This is the story you're talking about. I walked in the bank. I said, I'm just gonna check and see where that account is, because I wouldn't open the statements, because my mother used to say when I was growing up, girl, this money burn in my pocket. And I'm like, I think money hot, and it goes, thank you so much. And it goes away fast. So I'm not gonna open the statement because I don't wanna know how much money I have, because I didn't have a healthy relationship to money. I didn't even know a relationship with money. So while I'm at these trainings, they just kept saying save. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna save. I didn't need the money that I was writing checks for, because it was the money I used on my nails and my hair. And then every check I wrote to myself, I made a challenge with myself that it had to be 5% more than the next check.
Wow.
Than the previous check. So I didn't really know how to calculate the 5%. So I'm like, well, I'll just add $30. I'll just add $60. I really didn't know anything about it. Then I went out and got a second job. And I started working in the evenings, less on my business and more out on jobs, so I can write a bigger check. So I learned how to live on $31,000. That's all I was living on, $31,000. We can make it, we got it. I sold my Altima I had at the time. I bought an Ford Explorer. I just skinnied down. I moved out of my 3-bedroom house. I moved in with a roommate. She smoked even. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna put towels under the base of the door. Y'all, you gotta be inconvenienced. I put towels on the base of the door so the smoke wouldn't come in the room with me and my son. We slept side by side in the same bed. Went from a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom house, 2-story, to a roommate, because I was willing to write a check to fund my dream. And I kept writing, funding my dream, funding my dream, funding my dream. And I walked into Wells Fargo 3.5 years later, and I gave her my name. I said, hi, my name is Lisa Nichols. And she's like, you the funding my dream lady. I was like, yeah. So all these tellers came running around. The manager came around, because I guess everybody had processed a check or two. Right. And they were like, we all been wondering, like everybody wants to know, what's the dream you funded? And I was like, I don't know, but it's gonna cost some money. I think I got a little money now to fund the dream. And so I said, I just came to get my balance and to see where it is, because I haven't opened any of the statements. They were like, what? I said, no, I haven't opened any of the statements because money burns my mama's pocket, so it might burn my pocket, so I don't want to spend it. So she wrote the balance down. You know how they write the balance down, and she turned it and passed it to me, and I looked at it, and I said, no, ma'am, my name is Lisa Shante Nichols. This is my social security number. I don't even want that money because y'all gonna want it back, and I don't want to get in trouble, so can you just give me my account? Because I didn't know anyone in my family that had $5,000 in their account, $10,000 in the account. So when you write down that I have $62,500 in my account, that's not mine. And so they all teared up, like everybody started crying. They're like, no, it's yours. I looked down at my son, Jelani, who was 5 years old now, and I said, Jelani, I think life is gonna change for you and mommy. My son said, Mommy, can we finally go to McDonald's now? So, because I've been making them homemade Big Macs for a while. I was like, Mama can make you a better Big Mac than, Ronald McDonald. So, because I was willing to inconvenience my entire life. My entire life. I was willing to disrupt my entire life to buy my future, to buy my possibility, to give my dream a chance. See, we're not supposed to tuck our dreams in on the pillow when we get up in the morning. We're not supposed to leave them at home and go and fulfill somebody else's dream. We're not supposed to do that. That's not what we're wired to do. That's not who we are. Your human spirit doesn't care about the economy. The human spirit doesn't care that my son's father went to prison. The human spirit doesn't care what's happened to your family. The human spirit doesn't care about the past. You may have been molested, or your family may have been broke, or you may have been betrayed, or you may have a divorce. Your human spirit doesn't care about any of that. Your human spirit simply says, what's our command for tomorrow? What do you want to create? It's not keeping score. Your brain is keeping score, because your brain is designed to keep you safe. Your soul, your intuition, your human spirit is designed to make you soar. And when you get to the edge of that stage, I want to get up right now. Can I get up right now?
Whatever you want.
Okay.
Think I'm gonna tell Lisa Nichols no? Come on now.
When you get to the edge, your brain will always tell you to step back. It's always gonna tell you to step back, because you can fall. Always. It's gonna tell you to step back. Because before you fell, the last time you did this, you saw someone else fail. You could hurt, you could be off work. It's gonna tell you, it's designed to keep you safe. So you have to be willing to play between your brain and your soul. And on some days, you gotta just listen to your soul. And you gotta say, I'm gonna leap, I'm gonna get to the edge. Most people are at the edge, and you're standing at the edge and you're watching everyone else fly. That's Pimp My Ride, Watch My Crib, all this stuff. You know, watching people's lives on Facebook. You're at the edge, watching someone else live, wondering what it's gonna be like when you jump without ever jumping. And I'm just here to tell you, jump. Because only three things can happen. You're either gonna jump and fly, or you're gonna jump and fall on something soft, or you're gonna fall down hard. Either way, you're gonna get back up. You already know you got what it takes to get back up. Your greatest fear is not that you will fall. Your greatest fear is that you will live a full life and never fly, that you never leaped. You're not afraid of dying. You're afraid of dying before the world sees who you really are, before they really get your fingerprint, before they really feel your breath, before they really get your contribution, before they really feel you. That's what you don't want to happen. You don't want to leave this place without us knowing you were here. All I'm doing is giving my dream a chance. And I'm not extraordinary. You don't get off the hook. You don't get to be let off the hook. I'm an ordinary woman who chooses every day to make one more extraordinary decision.
Yeah, you're a grinder. Yeah, right? Like.
I'm a big believer that some of the most important, worthwhile lessons in life are often the most simple, the most overlooked. One of my greatest realizations is that any situation is far less important than your interpretation of it. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that anything in life is simply a product of the meaning that we give it. As Wayne Dyer said, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And this is extremely significant because it unlocks any door in the world. To be able to have that perspective, that understanding that you are the one in control. Knowing that will undoubtedly take you places. The question, of course, is what are you doing about it, right? It's no secret that if you look at things with a negative lens, they're going to appear negative. If you look at life as this giant tragedy and you're always the helpless victim, guess what? You'll remain that way. You're essentially enabling a self-fulfilling prophecy. We are who we believe we are. The world around us exists as we allow ourselves to see it. Words like difficult, impossible, they have no meaning. They don't even exist until we give them life. Think about it. We are creating negativity. You know, constructing barriers that have absolutely no reason to be up. I like to simplify this equation because to me, it's about having a goal and achieving it. That's it. Right? You're at point A and you want to get to point B. And there are really two options. You can map out your path and make it happen, or you can create reasons that it's not possible, that you can't do it, that success isn't for you. Right? Starting with the little things like waking up early or changing, eating habits. We look at what's in front of us and we ask why. We don't ask why not. And here's my take. If human beings got a man on the moon, you can come up with a strategy to wake up early without hitting a snooze button. It is that simple. And this applies all the way up the ladder to larger things, to running a marathon, getting a promotion, on and on and on, getting out of a particular situation. See yourself as someone who wins, who succeeds. Leave all that other baggage behind you. It helps no one. They say some of life's greatest accomplishments were achieved by people who didn't know they were once considered impossible. They had a target and they hit it. Before you even think about your specifics, you have to know that a solution is out there, that it exists. It's just a matter of whether you will make it happen. And that's where it's so important to set yourself up to succeed, to brush the negativity aside and to analyze what's in front of you with the lens of someone who can and will get the job done. Surround yourself with positive people. Quit associating with things that tell you anything but yes. Life is hard enough as it is, right? You don't need additional hurdles. It's about you and that goal, you and your objectives. Not can you, but how will you? How will you get to your final destination?
Don't allow yourself to be controlled by these 5 things. Many people spend their life at the mercy of circumstances, living at the mercy of what happens to them, living at the mercy of other people, not living in the present because they are stuck in the prison of their past. If you want to live a great life, don't allow yourself to be controlled by any of these things. Number 1, your past. Number 2, other people's opinions and judgments. Number 3, limited beliefs you project on yourself. Number 4, relationships. And number 5, money. Number 1, don't allow your past to control your present or your future life. Whatever happened, you must let it go. Leave the pain of your past behind so it cannot ruin your future. Leave the darkness of your past behind so it cannot block the light of your bright future. Your past is gone. Whatever happened, whether unjust, cruel, harsh, whatever the case, reliving the events will never do you any good. If someone did you wrong, the only way you can win is if you let go and move on. If you live in hate, they win. If you live in the victim story, they win. If you want to win, you must focus on building your future and start right now. Release that weight from your back so you can be free. Don't allow events from the past which are now gone to ruin this moment, which is perfect. This moment, which is now to enjoy, which is ready for you to live fully. Number 2, don't allow other people's opinions and judgments to control the direction of your life. The need to fit in and feel wanted can cause you to travel down paths you don't want to travel. People pleasing is a curse that should be avoided at all costs. Before you do anything, ask yourself, am I doing this because I want to do it? Or because of my fear of judgment from others if I don't? You were born unique for a reason. You were born to stand out, to be appreciated and loved for who you are. Don't dim your light so you fit into the dull background of other people's lives. Shine bright as you are. Those who really care for you will see that light and shine with you. Number 3, don't allow your life to be controlled by your own limited beliefs. Now, a warning with this one. These beliefs may be conscious, but more than likely, they're unconscious. They may be unconscious limitations that have been conditioned in you from a young age and throughout your entire life by listening to those around you who never reach for their own dream. Notice your own limited beliefs and tell them to shut up. There is nothing you cannot do, nothing you cannot have, and no one you cannot become if you believe in yourself. If you believe anything is possible, guess what? Anything is possible. When you change your belief from limited to unlimited, your potential is unlimited. Imagine what you could achieve if you lived your life as though anything is possible, as though miracles are a standard requirement of every day. As the saying goes, when there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm. When you have nothing inside holding you back, there is nothing outside that can hold you back either. Your entire life will change the very instant you decide to change your mindset. The instant you decide to see everything as a gift. When you decide to see every circumstance and challenge as a blessing rather than a curse, the very instant you become conscious to the fact that everything in it is as it should be, and know that fighting what is insane. Number 4, relationships. A touchy subject. But if you are always needing another to be happy, to feel complete, then you are always one moment away from a breakdown if that person leaves you, or unhappiness if the relationship you are in is not going well. I'm not suggesting to avoid relationships. There is no force on earth that is greater than love and connection. I am talking about those who can't live if they are in a relationship. Those who will be with just about anyone, including all the wrong ones, just to avoid spending a moment being single. What I am saying is to develop enough mental strength that you get to the point where you don't need others to make you happy. You are just as happy being alone as you are in a relationship. And number 5, this is what controls the majority of humans on the planet. Can you guess what it is? Money. This does not mean you shouldn't want abundance. It doesn't mean money is evil. You know as well as I do what great things you can do and how many people you can help with money. What this means is do not allow your decisions to be controlled by money. If you are choosing something only on the factor of how much money is involved, you've just made the wrong decision. What you will find is that when you follow your heart and you lead with your intention to serve others, to give your best to others every single time, when you follow your intuition and truly give your soul, then the money will come. And it will come in far greater amounts than if you simply chase money for the sake of chasing money. So challenge yourself to live the life you want to live, free from being controlled by anything. Find your freedom. Live fully.
It may not happen in 6 months, it may not happen in a year, it may not happen in 2 years, but at some point, my dream is going to become a reality. Every single day, we're not waiting for it to happen. We just don't have sight. Sight is for people who live in the present. We have vision. We're going to make it happen before it happens.
You got to write, even if no one published your book, write, because that was given to you to do. Everything in you is telling you to stop, to give up. every muscle is aching, and you're saying to yourself,
You can do it. Where you are is temporary. You will not be there for the rest of your life.
other people couldn't see it. A lot of people didn't believe it. You were attacked, you were criticized. People were opposing you, but you kept on doing it. It was hard, it was rough, it was difficult, but to you, it was worth it.
You have to know that this thing is going to work.
Say this to yourself every day. I can write my own book. I can have my own business. I can take the trip and travel around the world. It's possible. I can bounce back from adversity and reinvent my life. It's possible.
I wonder, where did your dream go?
Since the start of this new millennium, you've already witnessed horrific terrorist attacks and war. For every 2 steps forward, it feels like we take 1 step back.
Deep down in your heart, you know that you're not living up to your potential, and life is now just something you're getting on with. Why not change it? What is stopping you? Life doesn't have to be like this. It can be so much more than you could ever imagine.
Pace of change is not subsiding, it is accelerating. Because of dreamers and innovators and strivers and acting.
Forget about what they called you when you were growing up. Forget about how bad they used to talk about you. You could forget about your dreams if you don't take a step forward. If you don't change today. If you don't make up your mind that you will win, that you will overcome, that you will be a leader. You know what I wonder? I wonder, where did your dream go?
I'm asking you all to get out of your seats. I need you to do this now. Walk over to the window, open it, hang out of it and scream, I am so angry that I can't do it anymore. Something has to get better.
Everyone goes through challenges. Obstacles will pop up when you least expect them.
Who remembers when they first realized that they were going to die and sensed that behind all of this, the void is waiting? The worst thing that can possibly happen, one day it surely will. The end of all our projects, our hopes, our dreams of our individual world. We each live in the shadow of a personal apocalypse. But it's what you do with that feeling that determines the quality of your life.
Nobody else is in your way. Excuses like, I'm too small, I'm not fast enough, I'm not strong enough, don't cut it. You need to make the sacrifice for a greater good. If you aim small, you miss small. Because all the little setups ultimately conquer mountains. Why would you skip that workout session? Why would you skip that extra set? Why would you cheat on your last meal? Why wouldn't you give it your absolute all? That's called effort. You've only got one shot at life. The war has begun. And it's between you and you. When the dust is settled, you've got a choice on how you spend every second of your day.
You need to have faith. Your dreams will become real.
It's not the title that makes you. It's not the success that makes you. The character defines success, defines the name, and it starts right there with one of 1,000 hours in the training room and in the labs and in the 5 a.m. runs. When everyone else is sleeping, that's when it's won. It's how you look at something. If your name is attached to it, then you do it right, to the best of your ability, every single time.
I don't give up. I keep going. No matter what obstacle I must endure, I will not quit. I will keep going. You must live up and withstand whatever comes your way.
Many people have started down the road that you're on, but if you want to make it to the end, you won't see many of them walking with you.
If you don't stay hungry for greatness, your fire will burn out. Make sure your next move is your best move.
There's so many individuals out there that are so talented in different things that never accomplish anything. The world is filled with talented people, and they never accomplish anything. The body has limitations, the mind does not. We focus so much on what goes on from the neck down that we forget it all starts from here. If you're not mentally ready, you're never really physically prepared.
Why most people never achieve their goals while 2 or 3% really achieve a high level of success? The people who took this one action every single day were the ones who achieved their goals and dreams more often than anybody else.
Finding your passion is also one of the biggest questions. You just gotta try everything. You just gotta keep trying. I mean, that's the thing, is like, you have to be motivated to at least try.
I firmly believe that everybody on this planet has a gift. It's your job to figure out what that gift is. Then it becomes your job to decide whether you're going to act on that or not.
There is nothing we cannot do. It's really a matter of setting a focused goal, because without a target, you'll miss it every time. Picking a target and then picking the steps along the way and realizing that all the resources, all the capital, all the expertise is there. But ultimately, it's only going to be tapped if that target is in your heart and your soul.
What changes our whole life is action. Why don't we take action? Fear. What do we got to do to get ourselves to do it? We got to make sure that we push ourselves through it by making a decision. The point in which change happens is a decision. Every change in your life that you want will come from something simple, a decision. See, a real decision is not like a preference. It's not like where you say, I'll try it and see. That's not a decision. Decision comes from Latin. It means like incision, to cut off from. Decision is when you cut off any possibility except the thing you're committed to. It's like, that is it.
A decision is the first step. Decision is like a war. I gotta do this or that. All right, I'm gonna make myself do this. But commitment is when you now, after you've decided, you commit to do this for the long term. Whether it's hard or easy, doesn't matter. You're doing this. It takes it from this moment and it carries it into the future even when things are difficult. Decide, commit, and resolve.
Don't wait until you're 25 or 35 or 45 years old. Start building that discipline right now to get what you want, because there's 7 billion other people on this planet trying to get it, trying to get this thing called success. See, most people think success is a straight line. I'm going to get out of high school, I'm going to get a job, and everything's going to be fine. That's not how it plays out, folks, okay? This is how it plays out. Guy decides he wants something, and the line gets all squiggly. See, that's really what success looks like.
Discipline means taking the hard road, the uphill road, to do what's right.
Most people stop at failure. We've all failed at things. I'm going to continue to fail at stuff, right? It's the most powerful tool you can use, but it all depends on how you use it. And most people are just satisfied with There's always a next level. Your definition of greatness and what you want to achieve could be totally different than somebody else's. You know, we always say, no one wants to be first, okay, because they're afraid of the consequences that come with doing something first. You can't be a failure. You're the first to do something. If you're the first to do something, you can't be listed as a failure.
There's two types of people. People that are going to get what they want and the life they want, and people that don't. Two types of people, folks. People that get the life they want, and everybody else.
A lot of people out there that are constantly trying to improve themselves by looking for the one change. The one change, right? The one change in their life that's gonna make their dreams come true. It isn't one thing. And it isn't 10 things, and it isn't 100 things. It isn't a quick path, and there are no shortcuts. Getting better isn't a hack or a trick or a one change that you need to make. Getting better is a campaign. It's a campaign. It's a daily, a weekly, it's an hourly fight. An incessant fight that doesn't stop against weakness and against temptation and against laziness. It's a campaign of discipline. It's a campaign of hard work and dedication. It's waking up early and going to bed late and grinding out every second in between. Every single day. Just start doing it. Take that first step and make it happen. Get after it. And get after it here and now.
Every one of us who's a goal achiever sets goals, but very few people think about the obstacles that are there and them overcoming the obstacles. And in order to become an amazing goal achiever, you have to accept the fact that there will be obstacles, but you also have to prime your brain to recognize the obstacles and to teach it that you can overcome it. And you can do that in your mind first, and you back it up with a plan. And guess what? You will start to become a goal achiever instead of just somebody who sets a goal.
If you don't like the way your career is or your business is, change it. If you don't like your body, change it. You don't like your relationship, change you first. Because if you change it, you'll bring you to the next one. Maybe it's time to change it too, but change yourself first. If you want to change anything in your life, you have the choice. So there is no right or wrong. I just want to make you aware in this breakthrough session that everything in our life changes the moment we make a decision. And I mean a real decision. A decision is when you cut off any other possibility and you commit to something with everything you've got and you take action. But the big decisions start with little decisions like, what am I going to focus on? Because whatever you focus on, you're going to feel.
So instead of sitting in that job for the next 10 years, go do your thing. You've got plenty and plenty of time.
People want to know how to stop the laziness, and they want to know how to stop the procrastination. They have some idea in their head, you know, some kind of a vision of what they want to do. But they don't know where to start. They don't know where to start it, you know? They don't know where to start. Where do I start? And when's the best time to start? And I have a very simple answer for that. Here and now. That's it. You want to improve? You want to get better? You want to get on a workout program or a clean diet? You want to start a business? You want to write a book or make a movie or build a house or a computer or put together some mobile application? Where do you start? You start right here. And when do you start? You start right now. Because the idea isn't going to execute itself. And the book isn't going to write itself. And the weights out in the gym, they're not going to move themselves. You have to do it, and you have to do it now. You want to get better? You want to self-improve? Stop looking for a shortcut and go find your discipline. And find your guts and your passion and your drive and find your will. And then you will find your freedom.
We all have things that we're believing for, dreams that we want to accomplish, problems we're hoping will turn around. Maybe it's to see our family restored, to lose some weight, to break an addiction, to start our own business. But sometimes as it goes on month after month, even year after year, and we don't see anything changing, it's easy to get discouraged and think, it's never gonna happen. This is as good as it gets. I'll just learn to live with it. We all go through disappointments, setbacks, loss. Pain is a part of life. It's easy to get discouraged, even bitter. Think, why is this happening to me? Sometimes we look at pieces in our lives that don't make sense. The key is what we do in our times of pain. Pain will change us. Heartache, loss, disappointments, they don't leave us the same. Every painful time, even though you don't like it, it's developing something in you that can only be developed in the tough times. Eventually, that will pass. You'll get through it, but you will be different. In those tough times, when you're uncomfortable, going through a loss, dealing with an illness, you could easily let it overwhelm you. Now, how the pain changes you is up to you. You can come out bitter, or you can come out better. You can come out defeated, giving up on your dreams, or you can come out with a new passion, a new fire, excited about the new opportunities in front of you. I may not like it, but I'm not a whiner, I'm a warrior. I know I can handle this. Don't complain about the pain. Without the pain, we couldn't reach the fullness of our destinies. Sometimes we bring pain on ourselves. We make poor choices, get in a relationship we know is not good, or maybe get over our head in our spending. Now it's painful. We're having to deal with the consequences. All of us experience pain. My challenge, don't just go through it, grow through it. That difficulty is an opportunity to get stronger, to develop character, to gain new confidence. Anybody can give up. Anybody can let it overwhelm you. But you know what that's doing? Wasting your pain. That pain is not there to stop you. It's there to prepare you, to increase you, to develop you. Difficulties are a part of life. Now quit telling yourself you can't take it. You're not weak. You are well able. Eventually the pain will pass. You'll give birth to new strength. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. And there will always be forces trying to convince us to settle where we are. Life has a way of pushing our dreams down. They can become buried under discouragement, buried under past mistakes. There are dreams buried under divorce, buried under low self-esteem. It's easy to settle for mediocrity even though we have all this potential buried on the inside. What are you remembering? The hurt, the pain, what didn't work out? Turn it around and remember your dream. Have you allowed any dreams to get buried in you? At one time, you believed you could do something great. You believed you could lead the company in sales. You believed you could break that addiction. And it's been a long time, had some bad breaks, wasn't all your fault. You could easily settle where you are. Nobody would fault you. The enemy would love to deceive you into burying your dream, thinking that it's never going to work out. Don't believe those lies. It's not too late to become all that you were created to be. Every time you remember your dream, you're removing some dirt. you're digging it back out. The true mark of a champion is even though some dirt gets thrown on your dream, instead of letting it get buried, you keep shaking it off. You keep moving forward. You wouldn't be having that opposition if you didn't have something great in you. If your dream wasn't alive and on track, right on schedule to come to pass, you wouldn't have so many things coming against you. That dream is still alive. You may have tried a year ago, 5 years ago, or 40 years ago. Didn't work out. Nobody was there to help you. Go back and try again. This is your time. This is your moment. Your destiny is calling out to you. Can I tell you, your dream is not dead. It's just not in season. Your time is coming. Promotion is coming. Good breaks are coming. Promises you've been standing on. Dreams you've been praying about. Lack is not your destiny. Constantly struggling, barely getting by is not the end of your story. These light afflictions are for a moment. The adversity is temporary. The glory is eternal. There are some dreams shut up in you. Like fire, you're going to feel your destiny calling out. May not have happened the first time. The loan didn't go through. You didn't get chosen for the part. The medical report wasn't good. That's okay. It's still in you. This is your time. This is your moment. Shake off the doubt. Shake off the negativity. You're at the right place. You're at the right time. Now all you've got to do is get in the right frame of mind. Lord, I believe this is my year to get healthy and whole. This is my year to meet the people of my dreams. This is my year to go further in my career, to step into a new level of my destiny. This is my year to accomplish dreams, to break free from this depression. This is my year to meet the right people. This is my year to get healthy and whole. This is your year to see double. This is your year for vindication, for restoration, for new beginnings. Now get your mind going in the right direction.
Think of some major goal you want, or maybe it's one you're already working on and you have experienced a lot of setbacks, a lot of defeats. You've experienced a lot of disappointment. Maybe you've already given up, and maybe you just need a little fire, a little encouragement to get back in the game again. There are winners, there are losers, and there are people who have not discovered how to win.
Nothing is impossible. The only thing that's impossible is what you make impossible. So I need you to understand that it's not going to be an easy road. But I'm telling you, if you're willing to put in 120%, if you're willing to go all in, you can take that which was once impossible and make it possible.
Not only is it possible for you to have your dream, but it's necessary that you go for what is yours in the universe. You do what it is you're supposed to. You're supposed to build something. You're supposed to create something. I don't know how to do it. Learn. It's you. It's on you. You got to make that happen. Nobody's going to bring it to you on a silver platter and say, here's your dream manifested. No, it's hard. Yes, it's hard. It's difficult. Yes, right. And it's worth it.
I want you to hold on. It may not happen in the time that you think is going to happen, but I want you to know something. If you quit, it's never going to happen. If you quit, if you give up, if you stop, if you do not persevere, listen to me, you will never see it.
The major key to your reaching your dream, your living up to your greatness, your making your contribution is you.
What do you need to know to be, to do, to have what you want that you don't know right now? What do you need? And so I'm asking you this question. You got to get this one. What do you need to know that you don't know right now? What information, what books do you need to read? What mentors do you need? What circles do you need to hang around?
See, if you know what your life work is, I encourage you to start working on it. If you can't do it all at one time, do just a little bit of it.
And you've got to actually go in a room, close the door, and you've got to see yourself doing it. You've got to feel yourself doing it. You've got to actually walk in it. You've got to go in the future, live it out, come back in the present, and start working toward it. Promise me this, 5 to 10 minutes that you will devote to seeing yourself being successful. So I need you to do this for me. Like, I don't care what happens in your life. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care where you are. Every single day you wake up, if you're going to have energy, if you're going to have passion, if you're going to have drive, every day you wake up, you've got to start with that vision.
Warren Buffett once said, "The more you learn, the more you earn." That is so true.
Look at successful people like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Oprah, Mark Cuban, and any other highly successful human. They are successful because they use their time right. They are successful because they are lifetime learners. They commit to learning new things every single day. Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest humans on the planet, is famous for reading more than 5 hours every day. Bill Gates reads 1 book per week. Mark Cuban, 3 hours a day. Oprah, well, she's just obsessed with books. Notice a common theme here? Successful people never stop learning.
Think about this. You have $86,400 to spend every single day. But when the day is over, the money disappears. You can't get it back. When you try to spend all of the money before they disappear, when you try to use it wisely, use it as best you could. The sad part is, we only have 86,400 seconds a day, and most people take this time for granted. Most people let this time disappear without a second thought. We never get this time back. We must use it wisely. We must be productive. We must use our time to do things we enjoy, or use it to set up our life so we can spend our future doing more things we want to do. Instead of wasting your time on meaningless things, use it to learn new things.
The time you spend playing video games or partying with your friends will never come back. Once you use that time, it's gone forever. Use your time wisely. Read books. Study hard and learn as much as you can. Most people give up on their dreams because it gets too hard. A lot of students stop chasing their dreams because of one failed test. Matter of fact, most students don't even try their best when they take the test because in their mind, they have already failed the test. They stop believing in themselves, and once the belief is killed, the dream is killed. If you have a dream, you must do everything to make it into reality. It doesn't matter how many times you fail a test. Never stop believing in yourself. Life itself is a test. Sometimes you will fail, but the only way you can be a failure is if you stop trying. Whatever dream you have, use all your energy to make it into reality.
Push yourself to become the person you are destined to become. If you want to get results you have never got before, you are going to have to do things you have never done before.
The richest man in the world, Bill Gates, was once asked which superpower he would like to have. The richest man in the world said that he would want the ability to read books faster. Success is not about the money, the fame, or the big house. It's about becoming the best version of yourself.
You will fall down many times on the road to success. But the most important thing is that you get back up. Get back up stronger and wiser than before. Create a mindset that does not allow you to quit or stop believing. If you quit on your dream and give up, you'll never know how great you can be. Never doubt yourself. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will.